Welcome back, everybody, for another deep dive. And today we're tackling a big one. It's something that's on the minds of a lot of CIOs.
Yeah.
The AI skills shortage. We're going to be using AI Ambitions at Risk from the AI Journal as our guide today. And there are some pretty eye-opening stats in this article.
Absolutely.
For example, over a third of companies, get this, are saying they're already struggling with a pretty serious lack of AI expertise.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. That figure really highlights just how urgent of an issue this is. And what's really interesting is that it's not just about having enough data scientists
Right.
who can build those complex AI models. It's really about how do we integrate AI into all aspects of business operations.
So it's not just about the super technical, the people who are, coding the algorithms.
Exactly.
This is AI is kind of seeping into all these other areas of business.
Absolutely. And that requires a much broader set of skills. So you think about things like marketing automation, personalized customer experiences, even optimizing supply chains.
Right.
All these areas are being transformed by AI, but successful implementation really hinges on having people who understand how to use these tools effectively.
Okay. Now, the article does mention something called AI-driven workflows. I gotta admit, that sounds a little intimidating.
Sure.
Can you break that down for me and for our listener?
Yeah. AI-driven workflows, it sounds very complex, but it just simply means that tasks and processes are being redesigned to incorporate AI tools.
Yeah.
So just imagine for a second a sales team that uses AI to analyze customer data to predict which leads are most likely to convert. Their entire workflow, from lead generation to follow-up communication, is now driven by insights from AI. But here's the thing. Almost 40% of CIOs are saying that they're struggling to retrain their existing workforce for this shift.
Yeah, I can imagine. That's a big ask, I would think.
It is. It is. It's a huge undertaking. And it's not just about teaching people how to use a specific software program.
Right.
It's really about changing mindsets and fostering a culture that embraces AI as a partner in their work.
Okay, so you can't just hand someone a fancy new tool and say, all right, go do AI. It's got to be a bigger cultural shift, it sounds like.
Absolutely. And, speaking of challenges, the article also points out that remote and hybrid work models are making this whole situation even trickier.
Oh, okay. So, so how does that come into play?
Well, imagine trying to upskill your workforce on these complex AI tools when everyone's scattered across different locations.
Right.
Training becomes much harder to coordinate. And just ensuring that everyone has access to the necessary resources and infrastructure can be a logistical nightmare. Plus, there's that whole human element to consider. Building that cohesive team culture, fostering collaboration, these are essential for successful AI adoption. But those are much more difficult when you're not all in the same physical space.
So it's like remote work is almost like throwing fuel on the fire of this AI skills gap. It's making it even harder.
It certainly adds another layer of complexity.
Yeah.
And the article really emphasizes that you need a two-pronged approach.
Okay.
Robust technical solutions, but also a well-defined change management strategy.
Right.
Companies really need to invest in the right tools and infrastructure to support that remote AI work. But they also need to be focusing on building a culture that embraces AI.
Right.
And empowers employees to adapt to these new ways of working.
And I imagine that's where partnerships come into play, right?
Yes.
Especially, we were talking about the technical solutions, and that's a huge part of it.
Absolutely. And you're spot on. The research shows that almost 30% of CIOs are saying that their current technology partners aren't quite up to speed when it comes to AI capabilities. They might be great at traditional IT services.
Right.
But they just lack the specialized expertise and the resources to support these more complex AI projects. So this is where choosing the right partners, those who can provide both the cutting-edge technology and the guidance to kind of navigate these uncharted waters.
Right.
That becomes a make-or-break decision for a lot of these companies.
Okay. So now that we've laid out, how widespread this problem is, how tricky it is to solve, what are some of the things companies are actually doing? How are they trying to bridge this AI skills gap?
Right.
The article outlines a few things, and I'm curious to hear your take on them. First, it mentions investing in employee development. What does that look like?
Yeah. It's all about empowering your existing workforce. And forward-thinking companies are taking a really proactive approach by investing in these training programs that help their employees develop those necessary AI skills. And It's not just about those technical skills either. It's about helping people understand the broader implications of AI,
Okay.
the ethical considerations,
Right.
how it can be used responsibly and effectively.
So it's more than just, again, teaching someone to code or run a particular piece of software. It's that deeper understanding
Exactly.
of AI.
It's about nurturing that culture of continuous learning, where employees are encouraged to really embrace AI as a tool for growth and innovation.
Okay.
Some companies are even taking it a step further by creating internal mentorship programs,
Oh, wow.
where AI experts within the organization share their knowledge and experience with colleagues who are just eager to learn.
That's fantastic. I mean, that not only does that, I'm sure, help to fill that gap, but it probably does great things for morale and collaboration and things like that.
Absolutely. It fosters a sense of shared purpose
Yeah.
and really encourages everyone to kind of contribute to the company's AI journey.
Yeah.
But investing in that internal development is only one part of the equation.
Right.
The article also mentions partnering with educational institutions with training programs as a key strategy for bridging the gap.
So tapping into those external sources of knowledge and expertise.
It's a very smart move. By collaborating with universities and specialized training providers, companies can access a much wider pool of talent, fresh perspectives, the latest research coming out of academia.
Right.
Some companies are even sponsoring scholarships
Wow.
and internships to attract the brightest minds in AI and build a pipeline of skilled professionals for the future.
That's fantastic. It's a win-win, right? The students get real-world experience.
Yeah.
The companies get this great, pipeline of talent. But what about the companies that need help right now?
Right.
They don't have time to develop everything internally.
Yeah.
The article mentions turning to third-party vendors.
Yes. And this can be a game changer, especially for companies who are looking to implement AI solutions quickly and efficiently. These specialized vendors, they bring a wealth of experience and pre-built AI solutions that can really be tailored to the company's specific needs.
So you're essentially outsourcing that expertise, at least for certain projects.
Precisely. It allows companies to focus on their core competencies while leveraging external expertise to kind of accelerate their AI adoption journey. But it's really crucial to choose these vendors carefully. You want to make sure they have a proven track record,
Right.
a deep understanding of your industry,
Okay.
and really a collaborative approach to working with your team.
It's interesting because the article actually mentioned that, almost 30% of CIOs are saying that they feel like there's some misalignment with their current partners.
Yeah.
So it's not just picking any vendor
Right.
that says, hey, we do AI, you got to find the right fit.
Absolutely. Choosing the wrong partner can lead to, costly delays, integration headaches, and ultimately a failure to really realize the full potential of AI.
Right.
So it's essential to do your due diligence, ask the right questions, and choose a partner who is as committed to your success as you are.
So we've been talking about AI solutions, specialized expertise. It makes me wonder about something that maybe we don't talk about enough. What about network infrastructure?
Yeah.
Is that something that companies need to be thinking about in all of this?
That's a really great point. And it is something that often gets lost in the conversation about AI. But the truth is, you can have the most brilliant AI experts, the most sophisticated algorithms. But if your network infrastructure can't handle the demands of AI, it's all for nothing. And the article actually highlights this by stating that nearly 40% of CIOs identified network infrastructure as essential for effectively scaling AI.
So it's not just about the brains behind AI. It's about the backbone.
It's about the backbone, exactly. AI relies on vast amounts of data.
Right.
And that data needs to flow seamlessly and be processed in real time. And that requires a really robust network infrastructure
Right.
that can handle the bandwidth, the speed, the complexity of these AI workloads.
And this is, I imagine, where the skills gap comes right back into play.
Absolutely.
You need people who can build and manage this kind of infrastructure.
You hit the nail on the head. Networking talent is one of the most difficult areas to recruit for.
Oh, really?
And the demand is only going to increase as AI adoption continues to accelerate. And this is another area where those strategic partnerships can play a critical role.
Okay.
Companies can leverage the expertise of technology partners who specialize in building and managing these AI-ready network infrastructures. And it frees up their internal resources to focus on other critical areas of the business.
So finding that balance between, internal expertise, but knowing when to call in those partners who can fill the gaps and help them really navigate all of this. But it's not just about today's challenges, right? I mean, AI is constantly evolving. How can CIOs kind of stay ahead of the curve, anticipate what's coming next?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it is something that the article touches on as well. CIOs really need to adopt that forward-thinking mindset, one that goes beyond just addressing the current skills gap.
Right.
They really need to anticipate what skills will be needed in the years to come and start building those capabilities now.
So it's not enough to train your team on today's AI tools?
Exactly. The AI landscape is constantly evolving. New technologies are emerging all the time.
Right.
And that demand for AI skills will only continue to grow. CIOs need to be constantly scanning the horizon, identifying those emerging trends, and investing in the skills and the technologies that will be needed to stay competitive in the future.
So, I mean, where do we even begin? What are some concrete steps that CIOs can take to kind of stay ahead of the curve?
Well, the article suggests exploring emerging technologies, and that makes a lot of sense.
Like, give us some examples. What are we talking about?
Well, think about things like AI-powered tools for talent acquisition.
Okay.
Imagine using AI to identify and recruit the best AI talent out there.
That's very meta.
It's very meta.
Like AI to solve the AI problem.
Exactly. And it's not just about talent acquisition. AI can also be used for network optimization, which, as we discussed, is critical for AI success.
So instead of trying to find more network engineers who are in high demand, you're using AI to optimize what you've got.
Precisely.
Yeah.
It's about working smarter, not harder.
I'm sensing a little bit of optimism here. Are you saying that companies can really overcome this?
I am. There's no doubt that this is a significant challenge.
Right.
But by embracing a strategic vision and choosing the right partners, companies can absolutely capitalize on AI's full potential.
You know, I think you hit on something really important there. It's that partnership, right? It's not going it alone.
Yeah.
It's recognizing that you need to bring in that expertise.
Absolutely.
Find the right people to support you.
And remember, AI itself is a powerful tool for solving problems.
Right.
The skill shortage is a problem.
Right.
So why not use AI to help solve it?
That's such a cool way to think about it.
It's all about using the right tools for the job and recognizing that the solution might be right in front of us.
Okay. So we've covered a lot of ground. We've talked about the AI skill shortage, why it matters, what are some of the challenges, what are some of the potential solutions. But before we wrap up, I want to leave you, our listener, with a final thought-provoking question.
Okay.
What steps can you take, either personally or within your organization, to prepare for this growing demand for AI skills?
It's a question worth pondering. Are you equipping yourself with the knowledge and skills necessary to thrive in this AI-driven world? Is your organization investing in the right training and partnerships?
These are great questions. This has been a fascinating deep dive into the world of AI, the challenges, the opportunities. Big thanks to the AI Journal for such a thought-provoking article.
It's clear that AI is no longer this futuristic concept.
Yeah.
It's here, it's now, it's impacting every aspect of our lives.
And while the skill shortage is a real issue,
Yeah.
it's not insurmountable.
Right.
With the right strategies, the right mindset,
Absolutely.
you can harness all of this power for good.
Looking forward to our next deep dive, where we'll explore another fascinating topic that's shaping our world.
See you next time.
And it really is a fast-moving landscape. I mean, it's so much so that by the time a company implements a solution,
Right.
there's likely something newer and better already on the horizon.
Right.
It can feel like an endless game of catch-up.
So how can companies, especially those that might not have huge resources,
Right.
even begin to approach this in a way that feels manageable?
Yeah.
I mean, do they need to become AI experts themselves?
That's a really good question, and the answer is thankfully no.
Okay.
They don't necessarily need to become experts in every single aspect of AI.
Right.
But what they do need is a solid understanding of how AI can impact their specific business
Okay.
and the ability to identify the right partners
Okay.
to help them on their journey.
Okay.
Think of it like building a house.
Okay.
You wouldn't necessarily need to become an expert plumber, electrician, and carpenter all at once,
Right.
but you'd need to know enough to hire the right people for each job.
That's a great analogy.
Yeah.
It kind of demystifies things a bit.
Yeah.
So in this case, instead of a general contractor, you're looking for partners who are experts in AI implementation or training,
Right.
or even those specialized niche areas that we talked about earlier.
Exactly. And just like with building a house, clear communication is key.
Okay.
You need to be able to articulate your vision, your needs, and your expectations to your partners.
Right.
The more clearly you can communicate what you're trying to achieve with AI, the better equipped your partners will be to help you get there.
Makes sense. Now, going back to that idea of anticipating future needs.
Yeah.
The article talks about AI being used for, and this is a bit meta, talent acquisition.
Yes.
How does that actually work?
Yeah.
Is it replacing human recruiters altogether?
It's not about replacing human recruiters, but rather augmenting their capabilities.
Okay.
So AI-powered talent acquisition tools, they can analyze vast amounts of data from resumes to social media profiles to identify potential candidates who might be a good fit for a particular role.
Okay.
They can also help automate tasks like screening resumes and scheduling interviews.
Right.
And that frees up human recruiters to focus on more strategic aspects of the hiring process, like building relationships with candidates.
Okay.
And evaluating cultural fit.
So it's like having a tireless research assistant who can sift through mountains of data and find those hidden gems, those candidates who might not have been obvious at first glance.
Precisely. And these tools are getting smarter all the time.
Wow.
They can learn from past hiring decisions to improve their accuracy.
Okay.
And identify patterns that human recruiters might miss.
So it's really helping to address that talent shortage, especially in a field like AI.
Absolutely.
Where the competition is so fierce. It's like AI can solve the AI skills gap.
It really is.
It's a pretty cool way to think about it.
It's a fascinating development, and it really speaks to that transformative potential of AI. But, talent acquisition is just one piece of the puzzle. Remember our discussion about network infrastructure?
Yes.
AI can also play a critical role in optimizing those systems to support AI workloads.
So you're talking about using AI to manage and optimize the very systems that AI itself relies on.
It is.
That's pretty meta.
It is. It's mind-bending. It is, but it's also incredibly efficient.
Okay.
So instead of trying to find and hire more network engineers, which is a difficult and costly endeavor, companies can use AI-powered tools to automate tasks like network monitoring, performance optimization, even security threat detection. These tools can analyze network data in real time, identify potential issues before they become major problems, and even predict future needs based on usage patterns.
So it's like having an AI guardian angel watching over your network.
That's a great way to put it.
Keeping everything running smoothly.
Exactly. And the benefits go beyond just efficiency.
Okay.
AI-powered network optimization can also lead to improved performance, reduced downtime, and enhanced security, all of which are critical for supporting AI workloads and ensuring the success of AI initiatives.
It feels like embracing AI is no longer optional.
It's
for businesses that want to stay competitive.
It's table stakes at this point.
But this skills shortage feels like a huge roadblock.
It is a challenge, but it's not insurmountable.
Okay.
We've talked about a lot of strategies today, from investing in employee development to partnering with educational institutions and specialized vendors, to leveraging AI itself, to optimize talent acquisition and network infrastructure.
Right.
The key is to approach this strategically.
Okay.
To recognize that it's a journey, not a destination.
Right.
There will be bumps along the road.
Sure.
But by embracing a culture of continuous learning, building the right partnerships, and staying ahead of the curve, companies can harness the power of AI and turn this challenge into an opportunity for growth and innovation.
It's inspiring to hear you talk about it with such optimism.
Yeah.
It feels like there's a light at the end of the tunnel, even if the tunnel seems pretty long and winding right now.
Absolutely. And remember, the beauty of AI is that it's constantly evolving. New tools, new techniques, new solutions are emerging all the time.
That's true.
What seems impossible today might be commonplace tomorrow.
Wow.
So the key is to stay curious. To keep learning, and to never stop exploring the possibilities of AI.
That's a great message to end on. But before we wrap things up, I want to loop back to something we touched on earlier, the idea of AI being a tool for good.
Ah, yes, the ethical considerations.
Yes.
These are indeed crucial.
The article itself doesn't delve too deep into that.
Right.
But it feels like something our listeners should be thinking about as they navigate this world of increasing AI adoption.
It absolutely is, because while AI has the potential to solve some of the world's most pressing problems, it also comes with its own set of ethical challenges.
Okay.
Things like bias in algorithms, data privacy concerns, and the potential impact on jobs and the workforce are all important considerations that need to be addressed thoughtfully and responsibly.
So it's not just about the technical how-to of AI. It's
Exactly.
about the should we and the what are the consequences.
Precisely.
Yes, yes.
And this is where the human element is more